This lesson, we're going to start our first line. You'll need to start at a specific point for proper placement of certain landscape features later in the project. Since this is the case, we'll use the Cartesian coordinate system, which is entering x, y values to begin. Before you can enter these coordinates, you first must enter a command. The line command is in your draw toolbar. If I single left click on the line, I'm in the screen. In the command line, it's asking me to specify a first point. Instead of single left clicking on the screen somewhere, we are going to simply start typing the coordinates 30 and the foot symbol, comma, 85 feet. Select enter. Currently, you can see that from the 00, it went over in X 30 feet and up in Y 85 feet. If we type in the X, Y of 0, 0 and select enter, we're going to zoom out by simply using the wheel on our wheel mouse and drag words. I am going to press and hold on the wheel, and a little hand comes up to pan. I'm still pressing and holding on the wheel. If I move the cursor without clicking anywhere closer to the 0 and zoom towards the screen by means of selecting the wheel and rolling the wheel, clicking and holding on the wheel, clicking and holding on the wheel. That's my 00. Interchangeably, you can stay in a command and continuously use the zoom. I'm going to click hold on the wheel, and my hand comes up again. And I'm going to get closer to this endpoint. I am not clicking on anything. I'm just simply wheeling towards the screen with my wheel mouse to get closer to that endpoint. To end the command, I'm going to select the escape key on my keyboard. I'm going to click hold on the wheel, and I'm going to pan and move my line to the left of the graphics screen. If I ever wanted to see my full graphic, I could double click on the wheel as a button, and it brings up everything in my graphics area. I'm going to once again hold the wheel and pan. It's good practice to use the wheel for your zoom commands. I'm going to move my arrow closer to the end point of this line and use my wheel towards the screen. I'm going to click hold on the wheel. I'm going to move my screen graphics a little bit to the left. I'm going to draw the building form in this area. I'm going to simply single left click on the line command, and I am going to move close. If my object snap down here is on, I'm just going to move close to the endpoint of this line, and you can see the endpoint aperture pops up automatically. I'm not clicking on anything. I'm just simply moving up close to that line, and you can see it's selecting, it's sticking to the endpoint of that line. I am going to single left click on that endpoint of my reference line. I'm going to drag straight down until I see my line lock in at 90 degrees. Remember, I set my polar tracking every 30 degrees to snap every 30. You'll be able to see that lock-in line. I'm going to go straight down, and I'm going to let go of my mouse, and I'm going to type in 10 feet, 10, and the foot symbol, and select enter. I'm going to drag to the right, let go of my mouse, type in 30 and the foot symbol, and select Enter. If there are any mistakes that happen along the way, AutoCAD fortunately gives you the opportunity to undo that previous command. In this case, I typed in a 30-foot line. I can simply hit the letter U on the keyboard and select the Enter key, and AutoCAD undoes the last command. The Control Z is also an undo, and you can see also that we have an undo right above all our menu options. So now I have undid everything up to that point of selecting the endpoint of that line. Left click on the line, left click, drag straight down, type in 10 feet, select Enter. Drag to the right, type in 30 feet, and select Enter. You'll continue the form of the building on the building line layer by dragging down 6 feet, select Enter. Drag to the right, type in 40 feet, 40 feet, select Enter. Drag straight down, type in 8 feet, select Enter. Drag to the right, type in 20 feet, select Enter. And our last line for our building layer, drag straight up, type in 24 feet, and select Enter. To get out of the command, simply hit the Escape key, and you now have your building line. We don't need this line anymore that we started at 30 feet and 85 feet. This is going to be critical for placement of our trees. If I single left click on that odd angled line and I zoom out, you can see what are called grips. They're little blue boxes. They could be attached to anything that's an object, a rectangle, a triangle, an arc, a circle, an ellipse, and so on. If I single click and drag, I can drag using the middle. I can stretch by single left click and stretch lines. This particular line is not necessary anymore, but it's important to understand the grip. I'm going to simply hit the delete key on the keyboard. Before I save my drawing, I want to go up to my building line layer, and the next layer we're going to use is wood. Single left click on wood, go up to the A, File, Save As landscape on the desktop for me, and save. Since I did work, yes, I want to replace it.